All right, so I'm going to guide us this morning on a little bit of a different practice, which I'm kind of thrilled about. I took the kind of coaching, what we do in coaching with some inspirational talk and a half a serving of mindfulness and put it into a blender, and we're just spinning it up this morning. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do things a little bit different than we normally do. So what I want to invite you to do is go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like. You can take a soft gaze if you'd like. I'm going to guide us through an activity which will involve some visualization, some breathing, some curiosity, some exploration. And then hopefully what you'll do is be able to take just a few minutes and capture what came forward for you after our session today. So I want to encourage you, maybe for some of you, it's right after or this evening before you launch into your weekend. I'm hoping that some thoughts and inspirations will come forward, and I want to encourage you to capture those. So I want you to think about this idea of what is within our control. And if you've done any trainings with me, you know I'm big into that. You've seen lots of different visuals on that circle of control and all different methodologies. But for you right now, I want you to just think about what is within your control in your life. And there's a whole bunch that's within our control. So our boundaries, our time, our words, our actions, our beliefs, our thoughts, our priorities, all of those things are within our control. So I want you to just visualize that right now in your own life. What is within your control? Even if something back there is saying that it isn't, really dig down. What is within my control? And then I want you to think about within that inner circle, within that circle of control, what is within your control? And you had a magic wand, and you could create the life you want based on those things that are within your control. So not like I would magically have $1 million in my account, because that's not within your control right now, right? But what's within my control? How I spend my time, what I'm doing, where I invest my energy, my words, my love, my all of those things. How would you craft your life for those things that are within your control? Think about that for a moment. Get specific, not just, oh, I'd be happier. Oh, I'd have more energy. What are the things that you would do, the things that are within your control that you think would lead to more energy, more freedom, more joy? Really get specific. And if you find that you're challenged by this, just find your breath. And breathe in and breathe out. That's always there for you. What is within your control? And if you could, how would you craft that ideal self, ideal situation that you would put yourself into? Getting specific. I would work this many days a week. I would go to art class. I would be in theater. I would start dating. I would have more time to do this, that. Gather all those up like a wonderful bouquet. And then I want you to think about, now that you have that, think about the yeah buts. Yeah, but. Yeah, I would start dating, but. Yeah, I would take that theater class, but. Yeah, but. What are those things? See if you can identify those. I don't have enough money. Can't fit that into my schedule. I'm not good at it anyway. I'm too this, I'm too that. Yeah, but see if you can gather those up, get to know those. And then I want to invite you to think about those yeah buts and what's driving those yeah buts. And for many of us, that's fear. We might not identify it as fear, we might not name it as fear, but if you're like most of us, it's fear. Fear of standing up for what you believe in, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of what others will think about you if you set boundaries, if you say what you need, if you say what you want, fear of being alone, fear of loss of independence, fear of what is it? See if you can go to the roots. Getting curious about how fear might be part of our story. Because, of course, all of this is within our control, right? It's where we started. So, what is the root that keeps us stuck? And as you begin to get deeper into that soil and tease out the roots of the stuckness and find where fear might be playing a big role in this, I want to share with you a letter, a part of a book, one of my favorite books by one of my favorite authors, Elizabeth Gilbert. And for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with Elizabeth Gilbert's work, she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which was a boom book. It went everywhere, it was translated into many different languages, made into a movie with Julia Roberts. It was amazing. And prior to that, Elizabeth Gilbert hadn't really been a known author. And she wrote this book as one of her follow-ups to that book. This book is called Big Magic. And it's about her relationship with creativity. And having written this amazing book that was loved by millions and millions and millions of people, then sitting afterwards and having fear join her and begin to say things like, you'll never hit that level of success again. Anything you write will never be as good as that was. And she found that she became stuck. And so what she did is wrote a letter to fear. And I want to read it to you today. I love this and I revisit this often. Again, the book is Big Magic. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert. There's also a really great YouTube, if you ever want to check that out, that somebody put together. But this is what she writes. And I want you to embrace this and think about this, because what I want to leave you with is the invitation to write your own letter to your fear. She says, "Dearest fear, creativity and I are about to go on a road trip together. I understand you'll be joining us because you always do. I acknowledge that you believe you have an important job to do in my life and that you take your job very seriously. Apparently, your job is to induce complete panic whenever I'm about to do anything interesting. And may I say, you are superb at your job. So by all means, keep doing your job if you feel you must, but I will also be doing my job on this road trip, which is to work hard and to stay focused. And creativity will be doing its job, which is to remain stimulating and inspiring. There's plenty of room in this vehicle for all of us, so make yourself at home, but understand this: creativity and I are the only ones who will be making any decisions along the way. I recognize and respect that you are part of this family, and so I will never exclude you from activities, but still, your suggestions will never be followed. You're allowed to have a seat, you're allowed to have a voice, but you are not allowed to have a vote. You're not allowed to touch the roadmaps. You're not allowed to suggest detours. You're not allowed to fiddle with the temperature. Dude, you're not even allowed to touch the radio. But above all else, my dear old familiar friend, you are absolutely forbidden to drive. I love that. This is mindfulness. This is mindfulness, our ability to meet fear, not wait for it to be gone, not to let it take center stage, not to let it just run the show, not to hide in the dark and whisper sweet nothings in our ear, but instead to shine a light on fear, to embrace it, to say hello, to thank it for its job, and to let it know that you will be living your ideal life and it can come along for the ride. So find your breath this morning. Notice what's present for you. What are you feeling in your body? What emotions are present? What thoughts, ideas, and beliefs are percolating? Take note of all of that. And then again, I want to encourage you as you leave this practice today to capture those things. And then at some point in the next 24 hours, write your dear old friend, Fear, a letter. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much.